Welcome back to AM Northwest. Why is making friends as adults harder than when we were kids? Here to help us recover those skills, we welcome back the author of Human Lie Detection and Body Language 101, Vanessa Van Edwards. Vanessa, this topic to me is fascinating, and I have other people who agree. It's really hard to make friends in Portland.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first moved to Portland, I could not make a friend to save my life.
So I think that this is one of those topics, it's like the secret that everyone has and no one talks about.
Right.
Because whenever I start talking about making friends and how hard it is as an adult, no matter what city, people go, oh, this city is so hard to make friends in. And I'm like, I think there's something universal going on. So I'm hoping that these tips can help no matter where you are.
Okay, so let's talk about it. You say there are kind of ways you can go about it. And first is courtship.
Yes. So as adults, remember that we don't have these systems built in to make friends. As kids, you went to summer camp, you had karate class, you had classes. It was easy. But as adults, that all disappears. So you have to think of friendship like a courtship process. I know this is a crazy way of thinking about it, but it's socially acceptable to say, I'm looking for a partner. It's socially acceptable to say, you know, I'm dating, I'm trying to meet new people, but it's somehow not socially acceptable to say, I'm looking for some friends.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like to find a really good best friend, right?
Yeah.
People are like,
that's weird.
So the only way to sort of mentally think about it is to think about it just like you're looking for a partner. And the first step is courtship. So you know how when you're thinking about your ideal partner, you kind of envision what that person would look like. I want you to do the same thing for a friend.
Okay.
So think about what kind of values should this person have? What kind of activities do they like? What kind of person are they? Are they an extrovert? Are they introvert? Think about your childhood friends. What were they like? That way, when you see this person, you're more likely to spot them.
Oh.
So it's actually helpful to sort of hone in on what that person would look like.
Sure.
Step 2 is going into flirting. So just like in adulthood.
Yeah.
So I want you to think about that person and where they would hang out. Where would they be? What kind of groups would they be in? What kind of sports would they play? What kind of associations would they join? Where would they do their grocery shopping?
Right.
The same thing as when you're thinking about a partner. And in the flirting stage, you want to start just testing the waters to go to those different places. Now, remember.
So for instance, where would you go?
So for example, so I love being outside, and I knew that I wanted someone who was like kind of an outdoorsy activity person, someone who was easygoing, and so I knew that hiking groups, sports groups, any kind of meetups that were around outdoor activities, and it also doesn't take just one. So a lot of people, they think, you know, I went to this one event or I went to this one meetup and it was so hard, but just like with a partner, if you go to one event and you're like, oh, my soulmate wasn't there.
Yeah,
I'm
done.
I'm done. So it's going to take a little bit, and that's the flirting stage.
Okay.
When you're in that stage, I want you to think about who would I like to woo. So the next stage is wooing. And this is trying to see, it's the elevator test and the airport test. So the elevator test is who could I spend 30 seconds with? That's the first one.
Right.
And the airport test is if I got stuck at an airport with someone, my flight was delayed, canceled, who would I like to be stuck in an airport
Oh, wow,
with?
that's a good one.
Right, so you're just looking around, and the wooing stage is about bringing up ideas to slowly hang out with, and I call this old or new. So if you meet someone and you're like, you know, maybe this could be
my
a person. Yeah, but I'm not sure. What you want to bring up is either something old or new. And this is a really easy way to ask someone out. It's very hard to ask adults out.
Yeah.
So one thing you can do is something old. So, you know, one of my favorite movies is this movie, or my favorite restaurant in town is this. Have you been there? You know, oh, I love trying this, my favorite kind of s'mores recipe. You should come over and I can make it for you sometime. So something old is a way to sort of float what they would want to do. And then also something new. Have you seen that new action movie? You know, I hear there's this new way of playing ultimate frisbee golf ball that I really want to try, or this new knitting pattern. So old or new is a really easy way to ask an adult out.
So you ask them out, and then you can go even further to find out how much you have in common, right?
Yes, you go the next base, right?
Yeah, next base,
Move to the next base. And so the next base is dating. And you actually have to think of this like dating. And the reason for this is because sometimes it happens with friendships where people move too fast, right? And people are like, ooh, I feel a little smothered, right?
Yeah.
Or the same thing happens where you're like, what's the next step? Or you go in and you're like, you know what? I made a mistake.
Right.
This is not my person. So slow and steady wins the race. Try that airport test, try that elevator test, and just start taste testing, right? Going on very small, sort of structured dates. You can do this with groups of people. You can also have like a wing friend or a wing partner, an old friend that you want to build a group. And don't take anything too seriously at first. Because if you do that, you might set yourself up for a friendship that maybe wasn't
meant to be.
Right. right? And then you've moved in together and you've gotten married and it's too late and you have a divorce. And there's nothing worse than divorcing.
You call her
a
your
friend.
best friend and then, oh, it's over. Yeah,
exactly. Got it. You have the necklaces and then you don't want to wear your necklace anymore. So nice and slow wins the race. And the last one is actually this love stage. And just like in romance, love happens slowly. And the way that you want to do this with friends is called the 2 G's, goals and growth. So with true friendships, you want to think about, how can I help this person with their goals?
Oh, that's good.
Right, and this is a really beautiful way to sort of connect together as opposed to just activities. You can say, what are you dreaming about? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Just like you do with partners, you want to do that with friends as well, because if you become their goal partner or their growth partner, you become then someone in their life that they can depend on and you can depend on as well.
Right.
So thinking about what are their goals? Where do they see
help
themselves?
them.
Yeah.
And maintain that friendship by being in contact, right?
Yeah, and also to take this offline. So sometimes in the modern day, we build these friendships and then you follow them on Instagram, you friend them on Facebook, and then you're messaging back and forth, but that friendship sort of stays virtual.
Right.
So
get together in person.
Yeah, get together in person and then build it around, helping them, being their accountability partner, saying, hey, I really want to get bikini ready for this summer, or, I really need some help with cleaning out my garage, or those actually, that's where love is. It's
Fantastic.
Sometimes in the gritty.
Great advice. Human lie detection and body language 101. Vanessa Van Edwards, great stuff.
Do you love this video? Then give us some love in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to our channel.